I think every author sort of freaks out the first time they realize they're going to have to market their own book. I did it! I finally published my book. That's amazing. Do you have a plan to market it yet? What? Sorry if I just broke that to you. Anyway, if you are freaking out, don't, because my name is Patrick Nyland and I'm making this video to help authors with their marketing. Specifically, I'm making this video to help you out with your social media marketing, because there's different types of marketing. For those of you who don't know, on top of this YouTube channel, I run a very popular writing meme page on Instagram. I also took a social media marketing class this semester, knowing I would have to market my book in the future. Full disclosure, I haven't sold any books yet, but that's not because I don't know how to market them, it's because I don't know how to write them. I feel like that's worse. So, quickly reading off a definition that you'll never use in your life.
Social media marketing is the use of social media by marketers to increase brand awareness, identify key audience, generate leads, and build meaningful relationships with customers.
Maybe if I read that before my test, I wouldn't have gotten a B in this class. You got a B in your social media class? All you do all day is scroll through your silly little videos on the couch. What am I paying for you to do in college? When it comes to social media marketing, the first thing that people want to know is how to go viral. Unfortunately, I have no idea how to go viral, and I've had multiple videos go viral. And honestly, I think that's one of the main things I've learned in this class. There is no secret formula. Before you click off this video, while there is no secret formula to social media marketing, there are tips I picked up in this class that really help with my social media strategy. And I'm going to give you those tips today for free, so you don't have to go to class and spend thousands of dollars and get a B. I'm so upset about that B. To start off, I think a lot of people don't think of the different categories of social media marketing when they talk about social media marketing. You likely focus on what I focus on as a creator, owned media. Owned media is basically what you post on your social media platforms. Owned media is very important. It's what I'm going to talk about for the majority of this video, but I also want to mention the two other forms of social media. The first is paid. Paid, as you probably guessed, is basically the ads you paid for. It could also be an influencer, but for the sake of an author, I don't recommend hiring an influencer. In other words, don't hire someone to review your book, please. And don't pay for book reviews.
I can review your book for the cheap price of $25. This sounds like a scam. Nope, I assure you this is 100% legitimate. I'll have your book review by the end of the week. Okay, well, even if you do give me a book review, it's not going to be legitimate because you're completely biased since I paid you.
Paid media is pretty straightforward, but in class we went over a couple tips that I think you could use. When you pay for an ad, you want to optimize it with a clear goal. Examples of goals are book sales, website clicks, exposure. You don't want to post a funny meme as an ad if the goal is to sell books. You also want to focus your ad for a target audience, and we'll talk more about target audiences when we go back to the own section. Finally, if you do pay for ads for your books, make multiple different ads and test them out in small sections before you spend all your budget on one ad. Don't just go all in on the first ad you made. The second type of media is earned media. In my opinion, earned media is a type of media that a lot of authors overlook. Earned media is basically when other people make content about your book or your platform. As an author, you definitely want as much earned media as possible. So, how do you get more earned media? Well, you can start by making posts that are more shareable. People sharing my memes is the main way my meme page grows. You can also try sending free copies of your book to book reviewers. Notice how I didn't say pay the book reviewers. Big difference there. I've been playing with the idea of making the ebook version of my first book free when it comes out. That way I can make posts about it and encourage my followers to share it with their friends so they can read for free too. And hopefully that will generate a lot of earned media in the form of reviews. You don't have to do that, that's just something I'm going to try, and when I do try it, I'll let you know how it goes. The key with earned media is you can reach a lot more accounts than you would on your own account. And not only will you gain more interest in your book through earned media, you'll also gain more followers. Finally, I'm going to go into owned media in more depth, or what you should be posting. I know this is what most of you have been waiting for. You want to know what you should be posting every day to get more readers and followers. Well, before we even talk about posting, I want you to think of your target audience. This should ideally be the target audience of your book. And no, the target audience of your book is not everyone. More people can have interest in your content the same way that more people might have interest in your book, but you want to focus on a key group. What is the age range of the group you're trying to reach? What are their interests? Once you've answered the question about who the people in your target audience are, you want to ask a new question. What type of content do the people in my target audience like? Find accounts that post within your target audience's niche and see which posts do well. Specifically, take notes of what posts get the most engagement, whether it's likes, comments, shares. Speaking of engagement, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Once you've taken note of what your target audience likes, implement that into your own content. Now, in order to gain a following of your target audience, you're going to want to stick to one niche to build out your brand. A part of this class that I didn't love is that we had one Instagram for the School of Management, so the consistency of how often we were posting for all the groups that were involved in the project was a mess. Another thing that I noticed is a lot of groups had a lot of ups and downs on how well they're posting. That's totally normal. Sometimes one post you make does really well and the next one flops, even though they both look really similar. You should look back at your own posts to keep yourself aware of what's doing well and conscious of what's not doing well. No blaming the algorithm. But again, you're probably wondering, what exactly do you post? In this class, we actually went over a list of things that will make a post go viral and a way to calculate whether or not a post is going to go viral, and well, that lesson was pretty dumb. To save you time and the cost of a $50 marketing textbook, I simplified it. Your post should do at least one of these two things for the audience, not you. One, your post should make the audience feel emotion. There was some chart comparing which emotions are more valuable. That's dumb. Just make sure they feel something. Second, your post should provide value. This is where I think a lot of authors drop the ball a little bit. For example, random character art for a book that you haven't even published yet is probably not going to do that well. In my opinion, I think there are 4 good ways to provide value in a post. The first is humor. Who doesn't like a humorous post? The second, I was struggling with coming up with a word for it, but I'm going to say appeal. What I'm trying to say there is images that are appealing to look at. And that's where I kind of take a step back on that character art thing I said before. If you're an incredible artist, then maybe making an appealing image of your character could work. That being said, when I say appeal, I'm more thinking of aesthetically pleasing posts. Third, you can offer information. A good example of this is writing tips. I will say though, be careful not to give tips on stuff that you don't really understand that well. And fourth, tell a story, tease a story, you're a writer. Finally, a lot of people when they post ignore their captions. As an author, you need to take advantage of your captions. Once again, your captions should also provide value. I would also try to recommend making the text more visually appealing. You can do that by capitalizing key phrases, breaking up paragraphs so they're not too daunting, maybe using some emojis, and asking your audience questions so they respond in the comments. And when they do comment, be sure to respond. That being said, captions are also a great place to self-promote. For example, when I make a meme that relates to something that happens in one of the books I'm writing, I mention that. Captions are a great way to generate more interest in your writing projects. Also, if you do want to post an image that's more of an ad, maybe put it at the end of a carousel. That way it still provides value to your audience. Well, that pretty much summarizes everything I learned in social media marketing that could be applied to authors. Finally, I do want to emphasize that I've never actually marketed a published book. I have marketed my projects on Wattpad, which are linked below. But again, I just want to be transparent, although I do think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to social media marketing. Tell me about how you plan to market your book in the comments below. If you take this social media marketing advice, please tell me how it goes. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask in the comments. I try to respond to every single comment, which is something you should also try to do with your author platform. If you enjoyed this video, I definitely think you'll like this video too, so be sure to check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with marketing your book on social media.